So.
But the sad thing is, and I'm talking early stages, the early stages of this Deflategate has garnered more attention and fervor than the early stages of the Ray Rice domestic violence thing. That's the sad thing, is it really has. The first few weeks of the Ray Rice thing, you didn't hear anything. Yep. Now we're talking about deflated footballs, like it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
Right.
Well, and think if the Seahawks won the Super Bowl. Well, now, the Patriots didn't win the Super Bowl, so let's see what we want to do now. Yeah. Are they still going to take the position that, well, they would then certainly take the position it had no effect, but would they still take the position there should be no punishment, there should be, we don't know what they're going to do yet. There's still this story that needs to develop, but it's sort of fun looking ahead at this and kind of figuring out some of the things that the NFL has said, has done, is sort of illogical, makes no sense, and it's not going to get us anywhere. It's just like I had either heard or read that there were going to be commercials run by the NFL to sort of make up for, I think, these commercials that they've run on domestic violence, where they've been criticized that it's they're trying to promote their league rather than actually solve a problem. And I think also, to me, one of the biggest criticisms of those commercials is that, they say, speak up. I can't believe that all these people they have in those commercials can't say one word against domestic violence.
Right.
What is so gut-wrenching? Say what's on your mind. It makes no sense. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's one of those things that the NFL has had one hell of a year. Thank God the Super Bowl was as good as it was, because we all need
Indeed.
Nobody needs a PR makeover better than the NFL.
Yeah.
So,
and it was a great game. This is the best. When's the last time we've had a game where it didn't get one-sided?
The Vinatieri Super Bowl, where he kicked the field goal, I thought.
No, I was going to say the Arizona-Pittsburgh one.
Oh,
yeah, I was going to say that
You're
too.
right, Santonio Holmes. Ray and
that was the last one I remember that was truly like down to the wire.
Yeah. When Ray Horton prevented himself out of a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, fantastic. Well, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go over really quick, division by division, our preseason predictions. Because if you remember, folks, we had a little game that went along with it, and we have a very interesting outcome with the final score. You don't very, very interesting. We're going to need to find a way to figure this out. So when we come back, we'll go through that. You listen to 87 Sports Fans Live, the NFL Hour on Late Night Sports Radio. All right, 3 minutes, 43 seconds.
That leads me to believe there was a tie.
Come out of the house. I need
you sent me my polo, man. I got the polo.
That was for the weekly pick.
Oh. So what is this? For the Super Bowl itself?
Right
no, remember
now.
The records, and for every game you're off, you get a point. And the person with the lowest score, you get a 5, -5 for picking the conference champions, right? And -10 for picking the Super Bowl champions.
You're so fine.
Yeah, we all pick the other ones.
Baby, you're too fine.
That's a good section.
I like when we get all jacked up like that.
That really is great.
Yeah, I gotta put this It's been Yorgos, but in the Yorgos is Greece. And I was going to try to have him on, but he's like, dude, I'm not getting that. I'm like, okay, I don't blame you.
We gonna do this right.
So, he's really like Eagles. He just followed it. I thought it was great. He actually, he hasn't talked to me about it yet, but I saw he's working for NFL Greece now.
Really?
We gonna
like
go all
We're doing it on the
night.
side, because I know he's got a real job. yeah, I need another employee. You're it.
Tumble to the ground underneath the stars, underneath the stars. Ooh, yeah. Come out of the house. Yeah, come out of the house. Ooh.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby.
Just call my name.
87 Sports Fans Live, the NFL Hour. Keith Grieve and Steve Taylor from 87sportsfans.com, joined by Jim Saranteas. Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell, by the way, right there. Ain't no mountain high enough.
That was pretty sweet, yeah. That was nice.
I'm doing a Guardians of the Galaxy themed rejoin
That's right.
show.
Great soundtrack.
Fantastic soundtrack. So, last segment of the program, kids. I know. Don't cry. We got about 22 minutes, if my math is correct, which it usually isn't. So let's talk about our preseason predictions, where we were right, where we were wrong, division by division. I'll try to go through this without quick, because this could probably be a whole other show if we really wanted it to be. The AFC East, the Buffalo Bills went 9-7. I picked them for 3-13. Jim 6-10. Steve 4-12. The Miami Dolphins went 8-8. I picked them 6-10. Jim 7-9. Steve 6-10. The Patriots went 12-4. Jim and I picked them dead on, 12-4. Steve 10-6. The Jets ended up winning 6 games. No, 4 games. 4 games. 4 games.
4 games.
I picked them 6-10. Jim 8-8, and Steve-O 7-9. The AFC North. Pittsburgh Steelers went 9-7. Oh, I'm sorry, 11-5 they went. I picked them 10-6. Jim and Steve both picked them at 9-7. As is my tendency here on the show. I lost my page here with the standings to compare. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? Cleveland Browns finished 7-9. I picked them 6-10. Jim 6-10. Steve 3-13. The Ravens went 10-6. Steve and I picked them 9-7. Jim 11-5. So we're all in the neighborhood on the Ravens. Makes me feel good when we're that right. The Bengals finished. They won 10 games. I picked them 7-9. Jim 9-7. Steve-O spot on. With 10, pick them 10-6. We won't hold the tie against you. We'll just go by win total.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
AFC South. This was my undoing. The Houston Texans won 9 games. I picked them to win 11. Jim 7, Steve 6. The Tennessee Titans were a train wreck. They only won 2 games. I thought they'd be 500. So did Jim. Steve picked them at 6-10. The Colts, you guys had all the faith in the world. I did not. They went 11-5. You both picked them 12-4. I picked them 5-11. And the Jaguars, 3-13. I picked them 4-12 along with Jim, and Steve 2-14. So we were all kind of in the neighborhood there. Mm. The AFC West was our best division. Jim and I both picked the Broncos at 12-4. That's what they finished at. Steve-O 11-5. The San Diego Chargers ended up going 9-7. Jim picked them dead on. Steve and I picked them at 10-6. The Chiefs finished at 9-7. Jim picked them dead on. I picked them 10-6. Steve-O 8-8. And the Raiders won 3 games. I picked them at 2. Jim picked them at 5, and Steve picked them at 4. So for the conference, as the AFC is done, Jim is in the lead with 25 points. Then Steve-O at 32, and then me at 34. Okay. Jim with a commanding lead so far.
35, 34, 32. Got it.
25, 32, and then I'm in the lead. I'm in the rear at 34.
Oh, I see. So the lower the number, the better.
Yes, because you get a point for every game you're off. It doesn't matter whether you were towards the win, toward the plus side, or towards the minus side.
Got it.
Okay. The goal here is accuracy. To the NFC East we go. The New York Giants ended up going 6-10. I picked them 9-7. Jim 8-8. Steve 4-12. The Philadelphia Eagles went 10-6. I picked them 11-5. Jim and Steve dead on 10-6. The Washington Redskins went 4-12. I picked them 5-11. Jim and Steve both 8-8. Dallas Cowboys won the division 12-4. Everybody's sweethearts, but not on our pregame show. I picked them 4-12, and Jim and Steve picked them at 7-9. The NFC North. Jim and I had Chicago at 10-6. Steve 9-7. We all know how that turned out. Green Bay went 12-4. Jim and Steve both nailed that dead on. I picked them at 10-6. The Vikings ended up winning 7 games. I had them winning 3. Jim and Steve both had them winning 5. Detroit won 11. I had them 9-7. Jim 7-9. Steve 8-8. The NFC South, the worst division in football this year. Tampa Bay ended up winning 2 games. I had them 7-9. Jim 8-8. Steve 6-10. The Falcons went 6-10. I had them 11-5. Jim 9-7, along with Steve. New Orleans Saints went they went 7-9. I had them 11-5. Jim 12-4, and Steve 11-5. The Carolina Panthers won 7 games. They had a tie. I picked them along with Jim at 7-9, and Steve 8-8. Who knew, though, that when we picked them at 7 wins, they would win the division with that? And the NFC West, San Francisco ended up going 8-8. I picked them at 9-7. Steve-O hit it dead on at 8-8, and Jim had them at 12-4. The Seahawks finished 12-4. I picked them straight on. Jim and Steve both had them winning 14 games. St. Louis went 6-10. Steve hit it, nailed them dead on at 6-10. Jim and I both picked them at 5-11. And the Arizona Cardinals winning 11 games. I picked them at 9-7. Jim hit that one dead on at 11-5, and Steve had them 4-12.
Wow.
So the NFC only finished with Steve winning that conference 41, then Jim 43, and then me 44. So then we had to pick the AFC conference champions. Jim and I both picked the Denver Broncos. Steve picked the New England Patriots to win the AFC. Yeah. So he gets -5 bonus there. All 3 of us picked the Seahawks to win the NFC. All 3 of us, unfortunately, picked the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. So here's the conundrum. I was in dead last, 78 minus I had 78 points minus my 5-point bonus for picking the Seahawks gave me 73. Jim finished with 68 points, got 5 points for picking the Seahawks. That put him at 63. Steve-O finished with 73, got -5 for the Patriots and -5 for the Seahawks, which puts him at 63, tied with Mr. Saranteas.
Wow, it's a 2-way tie.
So now, kids, we have to be creative and figure out how we're going to settle this.
Do we settle it, or do we just